Hi guys, so unfortunately we can't be doing the hexahexaflexagon since we're not here, so I went ahead and decided to start chapter 3, and we will do the hexahexaflexagon project right before Christmas break this time. So anyway, chapter 3 is really important. There's a bunch of different angles to learn. Make sure you take the time to watch this video and learn these angles because I'm not going to be able to reteach them to you when you get back to class. So make sure that you pay attention and you learn all these different angles. So today's Wednesday, November 18th. Our test over all these angles is on December 8th. We will have a short quiz on Friday, so I can just make sure that you understand all those angles. So make sure you learn them. So today we're going to talk about different angles that are formed by two lines cut by another line, and we call that other line a transversal. So let's move on. Parallel lines and transversals. So first let's talk about what parallel lines are. So parallel lines are two coplanar lines, so coplanar in the same plane, that never intersect. Arrows show that those lines are parallel. So if you ever see arrows on two lines, that automatically means that those lines are parallel. The symbol for parallel looks like an 11. So if lines are parallel, it might say line BA is parallel to line DC. So that's the symbol for parallel. Also, arrows indicate lines are parallel. So parallel planes are planes that never intersect, like this top plane and this bottom plane never intersect. The front plane, the back plane, the two side planes, those would be planes that never intersect. And then this is something different, skew lines. Skew lines are in different planes, so they never intersect, but they're going in different directions. So if I have a line going this way, and then a line going this way, they're in different planes, and they will, I feel like a robot. They're in different planes, but they will never intersect. So two lines going in different directions, they will never intersect. So let's look at this picture right here. Find a plane that's parallel to plane OPST. So I need a plane that's parallel to this plane. Well, that would be this opposite plane, MRUN. That would be that plane. All right. All segments that are parallel to segment NU. So here's NU. If I want another segment that's parallel to that, I would have OT, I would have PS, and I would have MR. OT, PS, MR. Okay, all segments skew. So now we're looking at skew. Skew to M, what does it say? MP. So here's MP. It's got to be in a different plane going in a different direction. So it cannot be NO because those are going in the same direction. It could not be RS. Those are going in the same direction. But different plane, like NU, going in a different direction. Do you see another one? You see OT, OT, different plane, different direction. Now MP is up top, so what about those lines going this way underneath? So do you see TS and UR? Those are also skew. TS and UR, also skew. All right, moving on. Okay, so a transversal is a line, ray, or segment that intersects two or more coplanar lines, rays, or segments. So I've got these two lines here. This right here would be called my transversal. It's the line that intersects those two parallel lines. So these two lines that are not parallel, that's okay. This is still a transversal. It intersects those two coplanar lines. So we need to know the difference between interior angles and exterior angles. So if you have two lines, do you see how in between those two lines, those would be interior? And outside those two lines, those would be exterior. So that transversal divides, makes those two lines form all kinds of angles. So my interior angles would be in between these two lines. So do you see angles 3, 4, 5, and 6? Those are interior in between. My exterior angles would be on the outside. 1 and 2 and 7 and 8. Those are exterior angles. So I've got interior angles and exterior angles. So we've got all kinds of angles formed. Now don't forget about the angles we've already learned, like vertical angles and linear pair. So vertical angles would be like 2 and 3, 1 and 4, 6 and 7, 5 and 8. Those are vertical. Linear pairs would be like 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Even going the other way, like 5 and 7, 6 and 8, 2 and 4, 1 and 3. So don't forget your linear pairs and your vertical angles. But now we're going to have a whole new set of angles to learn. So for my interior angles, interior would be 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got something called alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles alternate over the transversal diagonally. So they are not on the same side of the transversal. They alternate diagonally, like 3 and 6 and 4 and 5. Those are called alternate interior angles. They alternate diagonally over the transversal. So 3 and 6, 4 and 5, called alternate interior angles. We also have those angles on the same side of the transversal that are interior. So do you see 3 and 5 and 4 and 6? Those are called same side interior angles. Some books call it consecutive interior angles. I like same side because it makes sense to me. Same side interior. So 4 and 6, 3 and 5. Same side interior angles, or some books call them consecutive interior angles. We also have the angles on the exterior, 1 and 2 and 7 and 8. Okay, so those are on the exterior. We've got alternate exterior, which would be like angle 1 and angle 8. They alternate over the transversal diagonally. So they're not on the same side. They alternate over the transversal. So 2 and 7 would also be alternate exterior angles. If they're on the same side, they're called same side exterior angles or consecutive exterior. 1 and 7 would be same side or consecutive. 2 and 8 would be same side or consecutive exterior. Last but not least, we have corresponding angles. Corresponding angles has one interior and one exterior. They're on the same side of the transversal, but they jump over another angle. So do you see 1 and 5? See how it jumped over 3? 1 and 5 are corresponding. 3 and 7 are corresponding. So they stay on the same side of the transversal, but they jump over another angle. One's interior, one's exterior. 2 and 6 are corresponding. 4 and 8 are corresponding angles. So let's look at this picture right here. So true or false? 1 and 8, 1 and 8 are alternate exterior angles. That would be false because do you see how they're on the same side of the transversal? So alternate exterior would be like 1 and 7 or 2 and 8. Okay, 9 and 13 are corresponding angles. 9 and 13. That would be true. 1 exterior, 1 interior, and it jumps over angle 12. So that is corresponding. Okay, 5 and 6 are same side interior angles. So 5 and 6 are actually a linear pair. They are not same side interior angles. Same side interior angles would be like 3 and 6 or 4 and 5. So 5 and 6 form a linear pair, not. That would be false. 7 and 16 are same side interior angles. So 7 and 16, let's look at that. So here's my two lines. That would be my transversal, 7 and 16. They are on the same side and they are interior. They're in between the two lines. So that would be true. That would be true. It's kind of harder with more lines. Okay, so what's the relationship between each pair of angles? So we have to decide what type of angles each are. So if I look at angles 2 and 4, well, those are angles we've already learned. Those are called vertical angles. You better know that. Vertical angles. What about 3 and 6? 3 and 6, you see those here? They are on the same side of the transversal and they're in between those two lines. So that would be same side interior. I'm just going to put SS. Same side interior, or remember they're called consecutive interior. I think the Big Ideas book calls it consecutive. Okay, 10 and 14. 10 and 14. Notice one exterior, one interior, and they jump over angle 11. That's called corresponding angles. 7 and 13. So I've got angle 7 and angle 13. So these would be my two lines. This would be my transversal. So they're in between the two lines, in between, and they alternate over that transversal. That's called alternate interior angles. If they alternate and they're in between, alternate interior. 13 and 14. Well, 13 and 14 are next to each other and they form a straight line. That is called a linear pair. So we have already learned that before. 1 and 7. 1 and 7. So this would be my transversal and these would be my lines. They're on the exterior of the lines, and do you see how they alternate over that transversal? That would be called alternate exterior. All right, 11 and 13. 11, here's angle 11, here's angle 13. So they're in between those two lines and they alternate over the transversal. So that would be alternate interior because they're in between the two lines. 6 and 13. Here's angle 6. Here's angle 13. So these would be my lines. That would be my transversal. They're in between the two lines, so they're interior. And do you see how they're on the same side of the transversal? Same side interior. Also called consecutive interior. 1 and 8. Here's angle 1. Here's angle 8. So these would be my lines, and this is my transversal. They are on the exterior, so I know it's exterior, and they're on the same side of the transversal, so same side exterior. All right, 8 and 14, here's angle 8, here's angle 14, so this would be my transversal, and these would be my lines. So they're on the exterior of those lines and they alternate over the transversal. So alternate exterior. I know this is a lot of information all in one day. So I get it. It's a lot, but you do have to know all these angles. So it says there's just numbers at a party. And then the square. Hey, who's the square? Anyway, just silly. So let me do like a quick review over all of these angles. Just a super quick review. So if they're interior, alternate interior would be like 3 and 6 and 4 and 5. Alternate interior. Interior, they alternate. Same side interior would be like 3 and 5 and 4 and 6. If they're on the exterior, that would be alternate exterior would be 1 and 8, 2 and 7. Same side exterior would be 1 and 7, 2 and 8. And then we have our corresponding angles. Corresponding is 1 exterior, 1 interior, and they jump over an angle. So like 1 and 5, because they have to stay on the same side. 1 and 5, 3 and 7, 2 and 6, 4 and 8. So go ahead and pull up your assignment. So on your assignment, why was the obtuse angle always hot? Because it was over 90 degrees. Anyway, okay, so on question 1, you're going to check all the corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. So those are the ones, 1 exterior, 1 interior, they jump over an angle, like A and E, D and H, B and F, C and G. So you're going to check box them down here. So A and H, you would find maybe, A and E, just kidding. A and E, D and H, D and H, B and F, and C and G. So you're going to check box all of those angles. Then it says all the alternate interior angles, so interior in between, and they alternate over the transversal, like D and F and C and E. So you check box it. Alternate exterior angles on the outside alternate over the transversal, like A and G and B and H. Same side interior, so they're on the interior and they're on the same side. Vertical angles, don't forget about your vertical angles. So like B and D, A and C, F and H, E and G, don't forget about your vertical. You're going to have some true and false. True and false. Then you're going to say what type of angles you have, like 1 and H. So here's 1 and here's H. Notice they're both on the exterior and they alternate over the transversal. So that would be alternate exterior. So you have to decide if the angles are on the interior or exterior, and then if they alternate or if they're on the same side. If you have 1 interior, 1 exterior, it's corresponding angles. All right. Then what type of angles? You're going to have problems where you have to name a plane that's parallel to DAEH. So DAEH. So parallel to that plane would be the FBCG plane. So you're going to find that answer. The segments that are parallel to AB. So you're going to check box all the segments that are parallel, like DC, HG, and EF. You guys see that? Those would all be parallel. And then finally we have skew. And, that's intersect. Intersect GH. So intersect means it touches it. So like DH, EH, FG, and CG. So as long as it touches that, that would be intersect. And then we have skew. So skew to CD. So that means different plane, different direction. Different plane, different direction. So like FG, EH, EA, and FB. I hope that helped. Please, please, please message me if you have questions. Thank you. I miss you.